Right, this is my UV EPROM Programmer. Basically, it's to program UV erasable, electronically programmable read-only memories, which I would actually recommend you don't actually use these days, because there are better EEPROMs available, or flash EEPROMs, which are both cheaper, have more capacity, and generally are easier to work with. But since I have quite a few UV EEPROMs kicking around, I've built this device. The details are available on my GitHub page, the link of which I put down below. Right, now the first thing, one thing is very important when dealing with UV EPROMs is the fact you get the right voltage. Now I have to go into the manufacturer's specification, their data sheet, and this particular one requires a voltage of around about 12.75. However they ended up with that value, I don't know. But it could be anything between about 12 and up to about 25 volts. So you have to make sure that it is actually correct. So what we have here on the board, we have a Arduino Nano, a voltage converter which has a little screw thing which you can turn in and out, which will then change the voltage to the voltage you require. It needs to be set correctly. Two shift registers, so I can then address all the pins, because the Nano itself doesn't have enough pins. And over on this side we have two transistors which are to switch the voltage, because obviously the Nano will not work at this case the 12.75 volts. And then obviously two sockets for 256K EPROMs and the 16K EPROMs. Now to make things simple, I've also built this little board which plugs in here. Complete mess of wires. If I can get it in. Yep, I think that's correct. Which basically shows the voltage and the lights that are currently active and things on that line. So if I go into the software, and first thing we need to do is we need to tell it what EPROM we're actually programming. So if we type in return, this will give you a list of all the EPROMs supported. This device only supports at the moment 27C16 and 27C256. So if you do an S, 27C256, hit enter, we get a G back, which is good, which now it thinks it's 27C256 that I'm programming. So okay, let's try a few little tests. If I do a T equals 1, this switches on the voltage, and if you notice it's got 12.7, which is the voltage required for the particular EPROM I'm going to program in a little while. Also, it's put the little white light on, which in this case means that it's that's the programming VPP, as it's often referred to. So I will disable that. If I do a T equals 0, and it switches it off. With a few other things, we can do a T equals 1, which then switches the power on again. I didn't mean to do that, I meant to do it, I didn't. I meant to do a T equals 2. So T equals 0, get rid of that. T equals 2. And it counts through all the data lines. Again, this was more for testing purposes. And if I do a T equals 3, it'll go through all the address lines one at a time. Couldn't quite fit them all on one row. This bit of Vero board is a bit small. Okay, let's come out of here and insert an actual EEPROM. You can tell UVEPROMs because they have the little window from which you can raise. Okay, make sure you put it the right way around, drop it in, and do up the 04 socket. Okay, now let's see. If we were to type R, comma, followed by an address, which is in hexadecimal, in this case I'm using 0, we get back G, comma, FF, which is the... One thing about UV EEPROMs is that they always start off as FFF until they're programmed. So effectively you're knocking bits down rather than actually adding bits on. Whereas the EEPROMs, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, work the other way around, and you actually have to increase the number of bits. So okay, let's try. Moment the current value is at FF. So if I was to write, comma 0, comma 55, often pick 55 because that's a like 10101010, and we hit enter, and we get back a G. Now in theory, if I do a R, read, comma 0, we should get back 55, which funny enough we do. Obviously, programming each one byte at a time is going to take a rather long time. So I have written a Python program which programs all the complete ROM in one go from a file. Details of that are also available from the same link below, and I plan to cover that in another video. I hope this has been informative, and please feel free to make use of the device as far as you can. Thank you, and bye-bye.